Everybody, jog your memories real quick. See if you can finish this, okay? Don't kill it though. We're gonna go for a couple, okay? This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on my thumb.
Knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
This old man is running home. This old man.
I don't know the second one.
He played two. He played knick-knack on my shoe.
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
This old man came rolling home.
I don't know this.
But you know it. But you don't know it. But
I don't know the words. I know the melody.
You probably knew the words at one point in your life, right?
Nope.
I've never been good with lyrics.
Is it Paddy back? Because you know when you're a kid, you remember weird words.
Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
I only know the Barty song.
Because like when you're a kid and you learn the Pledge of Allegiance, you think everyone's saying invisible.
Yeah.
True.
Invisible.
Invisible.
That's, yeah, I guess so.
Right?
And liberties for all.
And liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And I thought the Pledge of Allegiance was like the Lord's Prayer. I thought it was just something you do at church too.
It kind of was though, right?
The Church of America.
Star Spangled Banner, you know? So that the origins of that song, oftentimes those kind of like child nursery rhymes and or stories, they have like darker.
Oh yeah, like Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Posy.
What's Ring Around the Rosie?
Ashes, ashes, we all fall
That's the
down.
Black Plague.
Yeah, that's about the plague.
Right.
That's the black. Give us more info.
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, and
Ashes.
it's ashes because it's all the burned bodies.
We all fall down like
We all fall
everyone's
down
dead.
because everyone's dead.
Damn, that's pretty.
It's kind of tight, huh?
Kids are fucked up back then, huh? Yeah. Kids are bummers back then.
So same thing, like
Dark humor.
There's a theory as to like where the knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone thing came from. Apparently, it's thought that the song dates back well over 150 years. But this is a theory.
What do you think knick-knack meant back then?
Well, here's the thing.
Sounds like a slur.
Knick-knacks?
Knick-knack.
Nick Snack.
Somebody theorized and explained that most people believe it was written around the time of the Irish potato famine from 1842 to 1852. And during that time, the country, which was under the control of the British Empire, was blighted by a disease that infected most of its important crop, leading to a period of starvation that became known as the Great Famine. Everybody ring
I remember that. I
A
remember
lot of
that.
Irish people came to America during that time.
To England first, though.
Oh, that's why it's knick-knack, paddywhack, because Paddy.
Patties are Irish, right?
With the D.
You whack the patties?
You whack
what it
them.
means?
Or like
Exactly.
they're whack.
So that Great Famine led to around a million deaths, approximately a quarter of the country's population. So as a result, many left, moving to England to find work and a new life. In order to make a living, paddies, as they were known to the English, would sell knickknacks.
Oh,
So in order to make a living, they
like
would
four-leaf clovers and shit?
Keychains.
whatever the knickknacks
Koozies.
might be. So according to the theory, when they tried selling their items door to door, they would go door to door and knock on English doors,
Knick-knack.
and they'd be given a whack and sent on their way, while their dog would be given a bone, as is the song. So the idea
Paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
describes the brutal and inhumane treatment of the Irish people who were persecuted by the British during its rule.
So they were like the Mormons. or
Get
something.
off my porch,
Kind of like
They're
that.
like the minorities.
Yeah, they're like, get the hell out of here.
you redhead freak.
Yeah, you fucking freak.
the interesting idea that like as a bunch of kids you're just like fucking happy-go-lucky singing these songs, but it's talking about like English people beating Irish people when they were like dying of starvation and stuff.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Do we have any like Rodney King type songs?
Dude, you know what kids should be singing?
Because that's the same sentiment, right?
It's like kids making up songs about COVID now. Like, oh, it's like, you know.
Kids are that creative.
Put a
nowadays.
mask on,
Yeah.
take it off.
Coffin, then your grandpa dies.
Oh shit.
Nick.
But he had comorbidity,
I don't think kids can say that.
so he didn't need the vaccine at all. So brought to you by Pfizer and Moderna.
Yeah. You remember, like, cause
Pretty good.
the old fairy tales, right? Like things like Hansel and Gretel.
Oh,
We always
yeah.
get like the children's version.
But isn't it because of like a pedophile like grabbed him up and shit or whatever?
I mean,
Is that really what it is? It's a lady, right?
even if it
Trying to
wasn't a
eat
pedophile
'em?
and she still takes them and puts them in a fucking oven and eats them and cannibalizes them,
Yeah.
you don't use the word cannibal in the story, but isn't that fucking...
The
Crazy.
story of Pinocchio is really dark too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the one about they said that it's actually trying to tell you about Epstein Island?
Yeah, I mean that came later, but the actual story, like the actual writing, like the author,
So good.
is a pretty dark story.
Why is it so dark? Give me the spark notes.
Oh, the Sisters Grimm version is like the Grimm versions of everything. Go ahead.
Because in the Pinocchio, you know, in the scene where he's like, and then they go to this island, but they don't come back as boys.
They come back as fucked up boys.
And then they're like, but what did they do to him? And then he whispers in his ear, and then the guy's like, oh, like that. You don't remember that scene?
No.
Yeah.
It was scary, and you're like, no, don't send them to the island. That was like the thing.
Did you ever watch the newer one? That one was pretty good.
You mean the Benicio? No, I mean the
Benicio del
the
Toro.
fucking,
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro
I
one?
saw the end of it.
It was
and
pretty
it was sad.
because the dark part was the old man that lost his real son didn't want to let go of that son even though he's already dead, so he like got so obsessed he got super drunk and made a wooden like doll to represent his son. And then you know the rest of the whole Pinocchio story where he comes to life.
Because Geppetto lost his son?
Yeah.
So that was the real
He lost
story.
his real son, and then
How did he lose his real son though?
It was because
He was
Nazis.
eaten by a fucking Nazis.
It was in that story. I think it was Nazis or basically fascists or somebody was doing a bombing and they bombed the church and then the boy died.
There's a few different variations of Pinocchio, but you have to like really go into like a deep cut of like the original author who wrote the story, and his is very depressing. Yeah. And then there's like variations that follow from that.
Yeah, nothing gets more depressing than war and like alcoholism and all that. It's crazy.
Loss of
I don't know
your
how this
children.
kid shit's
Yeah,
so dark.
and like not wanting to let go of that fact.
What about the Three Little Bears? What is that really about?
Oh no, that's a happy story.
Is it?
3 kids dying.
Yeah, what is the real story? You know, like this idea of us keeping the childhood and kids, like that's a very new concept. New as in like less than 100 years or like even 50 years, because like apparently kids, like, well, for one, they didn't go to school, right? So straight, if you're poor, you just straight work.
Yeah.
And then you see all those old pictures, like kids are taking care of kids. And then,
Oh, true.
And then you see a bunch of kids like freaking with covered in mud and stuff because they're in the coal mines and shit. They're working at the factories. Yeah.
There's no childhood back then.
No childhood. You go straight to work and you start. You could play with shit, but there's no childhood like the way that we preserve it.
Yeah.
And then they saw death. Like you just saw things die, like animals die, people dying on the street. People, you know, it's not like we can't let them see that shit.
They
You know.
got more sensitive when people started going, we can't have children watching this, saying these things, and blah blah blah. Why do you think they did that?
I feel like
Because they're kids and we need to protect their sacred minds and
but
hearts.
what led to that is what
I feel like
'cause
it's
wasn't-
probably natural for every generation to want to give a better life for their children. So like, let's say if you're a coal miner, right, and you're just like covered in fucking mud all day, and then you're just like, fuck, man, I don't want my kids to do that. So then what you try to do is you try to send your kid to become like educated and middle class, like what all of our parents did. Like,
That was the way out.
yeah, and then every generation they become more and more pussy because they're like, I want my kids to do whatever they want to
Quality of
do.
life is you have a trade-off of like, all right, you're either gonna be more of a pussy but you get a better quality of life, or you
Better quality of life.
get hit with reality but you don't have a childhood. Which would you rather have?
Quality of life, dude. I don't want to die at 55 from lung cancer, and I didn't even smoke because I was around chemicals and factory shit.
That's true.
You gotta get a cool job, not like
Yeah,
that.
the thing that sucks is like it's gonna keep doing that until like how are you gonna find a balance?
That's why everybody's a pussy right now.
That's a pussy sapiens.
You know how you said, I think Joe was saying it yesterday, Joe was saying like this is the safest time ever.
Yep.
But this is also the time where we have the most pussies around.
Pussies
Too. And I'm one of
everywhere.
them. I'm definitely one of them for sure.
That's why the 90s kids that grew up in the 90s was like right before the internet,
But the 50s kids look at 90s kids like y'all pussy.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
right.
but they
absolutely
they're
right.
s- I was gonna say they're stupid because they don't know how to use technology.
They don't use a TV remote.
They're learning. They're learning.
So you know why I think these stories were so grim is because one, like, they didn't hide shit from kids in the same way. Like, they weren't so sensitive, right? And two, I actually think these stories save kids' lives. Because you tell them, you scare the fuck out of them, right? And now they're not going to go get lost in the forest and the pedophile's not going to catch them.
And it's easy to remember because it's a story.
is.
Yeah, that's their version of Stranger
you think
Danger.
fear is a good tactic to teach kids?
Oh, fuck
Actually,
yeah.
stories in general,
Yeah,
like
stories are
stories,
lessons.
is the way. Even when I talk to clients about like maybe
Stories in general, yeah.
yeah, like it just helps them understand. Like, oh, okay, cool, I remember this. It makes it easier for people to understand. But
Yeah,
sense.
in the Disney version of even like The Little Mermaid, right? She wins the heart of the prince, she gets her voice back, celebrates with a beautiful wedding on a boat surrounded by her aquatic friends and family. But in the original story, her transformation to becoming a human causes her agonizing pain before her heart is broken when the prince marries someone else. So the sea witch informs her that if she kills the prince, she'll return back into a mermaid and live. But she chooses to sacrifice herself, throwing herself into the sea and becoming sea foam.
Oh,
Damn, that's a real tragedy.
you know what the moral of the story is?
Shit.
Can't fall for no man, dude. You gotta protect yourself.
yeah, that's a better lesson, right, Nick?
Yeah. Man ain't shit. That's the moral of the story.
Men ain't shit.
Oh yeah, you want to be seafoam?
You wanna be ocean breeze?
You want this?
Men ain't shit.
man.
Are you guys gonna make your kids watch like Disney movies where they give you like a false oh happy ending? This is what life.
Nah, dude, I'm gonna scare the Trump. Fuck no, dude.
What movie you're
They
gonna?
need to know that if you step outside, someone's gonna fucking kidnap you and enslave your ass.
I might show them like Jungle Book
for that.
and be like, you want me to fucking abandon you in the forest so you grow up with the animals? They're like, yeah. And be like, you see, he still wanted to go back to the village later.
I let him choose almost whatever he wants, and he doesn't even go towards Disney.
That's tight.
I'll let them watch
Chose
Hostel.
Rumble in the Bronx.
No, right now it's Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, and he don't even understand it. I've been trying to find ways to find the dubbed version. I can't even find it.
It's all Chinese.
What happened?
He just likes it.
He just loves it. He watches it over and over and over. Yes, he loves Rumble in the Bronx, Three Ninjas. Just so happen to be some of my favorite movies, Bloodsport.
You get to choose whatever you want, and today, this is the choice.
Yeah.
No, but I let him choose. Like, I'll show him what I like, and then I let him choose. And then
Out of the list of
Those
he
three,
likes.
he
yeah.
never goes back to like, I thought he would like Avengers or go back to
Jump
like
Commando.
What's Commando?
One with Arnold Schwarzenegger, dude. Come
Oh,
on,
shit,
bro.
okay.
That
He
was
jumps out of a
sick.
fucking helicopter and lands on his 2 feet like a
Yeah, dog.
Does he know how to choose himself and like?
Dude, these kids that grow up in this generation, Taika knew how to do an iPad even before he spoke. It's
so cool.
fucking crazy.
It's intuitive.
Yeah, it's intuitive. This
is, though.
like I'm like
shit is.
even I'm like what the fuck? He's just like
Big, small.
like he's playing Roblox, which is almost like Minecraft, right? He's playing that. Oh, screenshot. He likes this image. Screenshot. Sends to grandma. FaceTime. Goes back, and I can't even move at the speed that he just did all that shit at.
Yeah, he's a little genius.
I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Says a lot about you.
He probably has fucking what is it called?
Arthritis.
Carpal tunnel.
What do you mean? What do you mean says a
Hey, we're
lot
out
to
of
me?
time on the video, dude.